Hari Om, Namaste. Let's begin our practice. We will be practicing Rgha S Va Sam, deep breathing. We will be exploring all the ways that our torso moves when we practice this complete yogic breath. And this is the pranayama technique that forms the foundation of all the other pranayama practices. So it's very important that you have it well established if you want to dive into pranayama. This will give you a good foundation. And it's also a great practice for your asana practice because it supports your posture and opens and utilizes your whole lung capacity, and it calms the mind and soothes anxiety. So let's begin by finding a comfortable sitting position. You can be sitting on a chair or sitting on a cushion. If you're sitting on a cushion, sit on the edge of it. Make sure your pelvis is tilted slightly forward with the knees moving downward. The spine is long, the abdomen is relaxed, and you're sitting forward on the sitting bones. Hands are resting either on the knees or on the lap. And let's begin. Exhale fully, pulling the navel in. Inhale, expanding the abdomen, ribcage, chest. And exhale, releasing and pulling the navel in again. So then you guarantee a full out breath. And when you breathe in again, notice the abdomen, ribcage, chest expanding. And then continue at your own pace. Every time you breathe in, you expand the torso, and as you breathe out, you release, pulling the navel in, guarantee a full out breath, and then only then you breathe in again. So continue with that. And then I will be introducing the 3 different directions that our torso moves when we practice deep breathing. The breath is 3-dimensional. Therefore, there are 3 directions that our torso is moving. Our torso changes shape when you breathe in. And the first direction we will pay attention will be the direction of up and down. Notice that when you breathe in, your torso is moving upward with the breath coming in. And when you breathe out, it releases down. Notice as you continue with this deep breathing, moving upwards when you breathe in, moving downwards when you breathe out. And then let's take a look at the second direction. So when you breathe in, notice the torso moving right and left, especially at the rib cage level. When you breathe in, notice it expanding out to the side. And when you breathe out, you pull the navel in, it retracts. Continue observing it. And one important thing is, if you don't notice anything moving, don't force. It may be a sign of tightness of the muscles involved in this process. And just by practicing, you're improving the flexibility and the strength of these muscles, and then you'll be able to notice it. And of course, there are some days that we are tighter than other days due to emotional stress or you didn't sleep well. So just observe, don't make this breath forceful in any way. Okay, so that's enough of the second directions. Let's take a look at the third direction. So the third direction is front and back. It's very easy to notice the front of the torso expanding when you breathe in. But now let's send our awareness to the back of the body and notice the expansion that happens there when you breathe in. And when you breathe out, it releases. So notice now as you continue with the deep breathing that breathing in, expanding not only the front of the body but the back of the body. You may even notice your shoulder blades moving away from each other. And when you breathe out, notice everything retracting, navel moving in, squeezing out the air. And when you breathe in again, notice the expansion front and back. And when you breathe out, notice the release. Continue with that practice. Now you mentioned just a couple more things. This may be the direction that people have the most difficult on noticing the back of the body. So don't be forceful, just watch. Eventually you may be able to access that by practicing over and over again. And when you next breathe out, return to your regular breath. And let's do a final one and see if you can notice all happening at the same time. All the directions happening. And you may notice that one direction may be a little poor in its movement. And that's a little thing for you to make a mental note and know that you can focus on yoga asanas to expand that area and work on that area, or even just by doing this deep breathing, having the focus there, and eventually things will open up. So begin, exhale fully, pulling the navel in, inhale, expanding, and notice the breath happening in 3 directions. Enjoy this deep breathing, especially at this time of the year, the fall season, that will help you to feel more grounded, will help you to be more centered, soothing any anxiety, and enjoy. Happy breathing. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat.